Good evening.
You got the lights on?
What are you talking about, honey?
I was telling radio check and light check to have the checks lights
so
on.
goofy.
It was part of my skit, honey.
Did I ruin it?
No, it's okay. We'll do it next time. Next week.
No, I gotta do it. I'll pretend I'm not here.
Lights check. Camera check. Martha! Martha! We're about to shoot! Yeah! All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Good morning, America.
It's actually good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. So today is 11/24 on the Gregorian, and God's physical calendar is 3/4, and God's spiritual calendar is 8/4. And I asked Jesus what he wanted to talk about today, and
She just got from a little nap, so we're just
I asked Jesus what. Well, actually, I was rubbing your head, so you were the one kind of napping.
Oh yeah.
I was awake, so
Yeah.
I woke up like a long time ago.
Oh.
But I still feel sleepy all of a sudden.
There's no drugs involved here.
I feel like he's draining me.
It's very.
Well, he's
very
been
relaxed right now.
People always assume that we're high or something. I don't know why. But it's because he's draining us, guys. You
Yeah.
have to understand he's pulling energy, and it has to do with part 4 of what we just posted today. Because it has to do with like the different worlds and how he's doing like a DNA thing, mechanism thing.
Yeah.
See, I can't do it unless Jesus speaks through me. So these definitely aren't my words, but yeah. So I asked Jesus what he wanted us to talk about today, and I heard 12/25. Well, that's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to my 12/25, and so I had a dream that day. I dreamt Jesus, so I was with G in Greenville, and I think I was like napping throughout the day when I had this dream, but we were in Greenville and we were going to see a movie in my dream, and Jesus told me to go buy movie tickets at 12:30. Well, 12:30 is not only my ministry date, but it's a mirror of his ministry date, because his is 3/2/1,
Right.
which is also my birth time, 3/2/1. You see how you can't make this up, because literally like 2 years before he even met me, he shared his very first video on 3/21 of 2021.
Yep.
And we didn't know what day it was until Jesus said, go look at when you shared your video, and that's your ministry date.
Yeah. Yep.
That
was amazing. That it was right in the beginning of this, and you know, he hadn't shown me a lot, and I was just going by faith. He said, my son, scroll. So I scrolled for like 30 minutes down to my first video, and it was 3/21 of 2021. And I was like, whoa!
I mean, you just can't make that up. And then the fact that my childhood address growing up in Maryland was his birthday.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, most of his address now, our address now is my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so mine is like a number. But it's just really cool how he, you know, he does that stuff. And he's always showing that stuff, right? To prove how he ordains us together.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, my little soulmates.
Yeah.
So anyway, so in the dream, I went to go buy movie tickets at 12:30. But in my dream, he said the movie doesn't start till 5:30. Well, that's interesting, because last night he had me go to sleep around 5:12 a.m. I remember looking at the clock right before I dozed off. And then he woke me up this morning at 8:07. Well, 8:07 a.m. is when the group came against me. And that's kind of happening now in the group. You know, he's doing the mirror of the fall, and they're saying, you know, that we're opening doors by watching videos or whatever. It's definitely backed by the religious spirit, and it's because he switched their spirits out so they don't know any different because of what they've been getting from the other circles.
From the Father.
Yes, the Father shows me. It's very easy to tell when Jesus is doing the false father stuff, because they say it a certain way. Instead of saying, oh, well, Jesus is saying that, they're like, well, Father tells me. And I'm just like, okay, so that just tells me all I need to know. But also, it's like clues that they give them, literally showing to look at themselves. Mm-hmm. And they end up, you know, like looking at the other person instead of looking at themselves. So it's the same thing he does all the time, over and over again. And so I found this interesting, because today I was looking at my TikTok, because I uploaded a video yesterday at the beginning of the morning, part 4, And it took all yesterday, almost all today to upload. And I prayed and asked Jesus, because they said it was under review on TikTok. And I don't post it on YouTube until it's done with TikTok, right? There's like a strategy I do with Jesus. Well, Jesus said he's behind that. You know, he wants that video out, like when because there's a supernatural video coming, literally where he puts the baby inside me and it grows in real time, and you can see the baby kicking, like moving. I was talking to Denise's son today, and he saw it for the first time.
He did?
And he was like, if you watch how your stomach literally grows in the video, and you can see the baby kicking on the side.
That's insane.
So anyway, it was really supernatural, but he needs the mirror of the fall to happen in the group first, so he didn't want to put that out right away. So by the time this video gets out, it would already be out there, right? So anyway, everything he does is his perfect timing on everything, right? So he finally let that video come through today, which is part 4. But part 5 is where you can see a little bit of my stomach, where it shows where I was a little bit pregnant, because it's hard, right? And then all of a sudden it like goes from, in part 6, it's where he has me stand up again.
Oh, that must be
and
64/7.
Then it grows, grows like exponentially crazy big. Like it almost knocks G in the face.
It does.
Like I'm standing here and all of a sudden it's like, it's so cool. It's so supernatural. Speaking of supernatural, my hair is still kind of wet, but
it's like grayer now.
He's changed it again.
Yep.
But it's kind of wet right now because I just washed my hair.
I can't tell.
My lovely G just helped me take a shower with our water bottles.
I'm your water boy and your
He
shower
had all
boy.
these little mechanisms. He had the spray bottle going. He has this big jug and he's like dumping it on my head. It's not fun because it's like freezing cold water, by the way. And I'm cold in like 80-degree weather. So this has been definitely tough. Okay, let me get back to the dream. So basically in the dream, he had us go buy movie tickets at 12:30. And then he said the movie doesn't start till 5:30. Well, I don't know what that means yet on God, but 5:30 can also be 5:12. And like I said, he had me go to sleep at 5:12 last night. So that's not a coincidence. But so 5:30 also is like into 6:30, right? Because 5 and 6 go together. And that is this month for where we are because of the Gregorian starting the 2025 on 6/16. Okay. And it's not a coincidence that all the parts that are coming out right now are all the month of 6. You see how perfect he is? He's so perfect. And so all the group is starting to put out their parts now. And it's funny because he did group 1 that had certain parts, right? And then he switched up the parts, matching exactly what we were saying in the video, real time of that day that they were posting the parts, like the island. Like you can't make up stuff like that, right? Okay, so then after, so I said this, if you want to read this. A few months ago, a commenter said the Lord told him to remind me about my movie ticket dream. Yeah, because I forgot about it and I couldn't find it. And someone randomly came on YouTube and said, hey, the Lord told me to tell you, don't forget about your movie ticket dream. Yes. So, well, if you add 7 days to 5:30, you get June 6th. Then last year on 6/13/2023, Jesus' prophecy was how many days to get on the boat and when does the rain start? It also said 6 just before 7 in that prophecy. Well, if you add another 7 days from the June 6th, you get June 13th again. Also, last year on 6/13, Jesus spoke 7:53 to me and backwards. Well, again, counting 7 days backwards is 6/6 again. Cassie looked at 7:53 and she said, based on the heavenly signs, she said it's around 4:28. Well, 4:28 is 4:10. Jesus showed another convergence and pattern. 4:10 was marked for judgment and beginning of the minutes on the clock. Jesus helped us find. So that's interesting, right? Because it was showing a 5-day thing, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12:30 into 5:30 is like into 5 months, or 5 days. So I was looking at that, and today's the 24th. And 29 is 5 days from now. And he gave me a dream 24 and 29. Did I not? I thought I shared it with you. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, this was last night's dream. So, well, let's see. No, I guess it didn't share. Well, anyway, in this dream, I had posted this prophecy already. It was 1/1/2024. And he had us originally, I think that was one of the first ones, so when we started doing the videos, that we actually said. And that one said, the dream 24 and 29, there's a lot of significance. Mandy doesn't know what that means yet. So he's pointing to something with that 5-day difference, 24 and 29.
Yeah.
So then last night, like I said, I had a dream. Well, he woke me up at 8:07 from my dream last night. And like I said, 8:07 is when the dial turns back, but it's also the group coming against me. And so then last night I dreamt that, did I not put my dream here? I'm just really on a roll here.
Last night that I was reading some messages.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I dreamt last night that I was reading some messages. The parts where I was reading them backwards, proving that Jesus was speaking, because you know he puts a stamp on his stuff. Like when he gives me a message, I can read that message forward and backwards, just like the Bible, and that's his heavenly stamp, right? And then I dreamt that G and I were reading the parts in our glorious bodies, but our cameras were off, and that matches the prophecy. It's like right now we're doing pre-social media, and he's having the 12 put out their parts, right? And they're all their cameras on. But then he's gonna do it again. Right now I'm just posting the parts on my community page, but then he's gonna have G and I, when we're in our glorious bodies, turn our cameras off and read the parts to you guys. But this time, because we're in our glorious body, you're going to literally feel the presence of heaven through us. So it's going to block your frequencies. So you're going to, sorry. Thank you. I'm tired. It's going to unblock your frequencies, and you're going to really feel that heaven pull, right? So then, yeah, so I thought that was interesting that I had that dream last night. And then... and I talked to you about the video being stuck. Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It was a short one today. So
Jesus knows we've been working hard.
Yeah. So we claim that Jesus Christ came in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, and rose on the third day. All right, guys. Well, we love you so much. God bless.
Bye. God bless.